Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to the 2021 Golf Ontario virtual annual meeting. I'm so happy to see everyone's faces here virtually, of course. My name is Kayla-Marie Tracy. I am a reporter anchor for Toronto's breaking news, CP24, and I'm so excited and honored to be your MC this morning for the annual general meeting. As we all know, of course, we are meeting virtually. That 2020 was definitely a year, brought some many challenges, and so has 2021. As a golfer myself, I think I speak for everyone when I say that I am very, very proud of how the golf community has forged a way and come together and made a way for a lot of us to be able to still golf in 2020. And of course, although it's not the news that we were hoping for in 2021, perseverance and opportunity are certainly the name of the game for this upcoming season. So with that, for Golf Ontario, facilities are at the core of what we do. And we thank you for your participation this morning and joining us. We are participating virtually today, of course, and because of that, we will be recording this entire meeting. So if by chance you need to step out or pause or take a break, this entire meeting will be recorded for you so you can watch it at a previous time. So to begin this morning, I want to kick things off by introducing Mike Kelly, who is the Executive Director of Golf Ontario, with an address to all of the stakeholders.
Hey everyone, I just want to take a moment to address our volunteers, our stakeholders, partners, and of course our members. Golf can be a humbling and frustrating game, and on Friday it was again. To begin, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry. We and the entire golf industry tried incredibly hard to keep golf open. Right off the top, I want you to understand the depth of our efforts. The We Are Golf team has been meeting regularly since last March, and we have reached out to every major touch point of this pandemic since that time. Since December alone, we have issued 5 formal communications to the government, each time reminding them of the important role golf plays and the safe manner in which we do it in. We have tried to leave no stone unturned in our efforts to keep golf open. I'm so proud, not just of this, but all of our collective efforts. The depth of discussion and partnership that has carried through the past year as the leadership of We Are Golf was remarkable. And together with all of our amazing facilities, we pivoted, innovated, and contributed to a safe golf experience. Given all these incredible efforts, protocols, and messaging, I'm honestly struggling to make sense of this. We don't have all the answers to the many questions, emails, texts, and voices we're receiving and hearing from. But I know we all share the same feeling of frustration that Friday's announcement brought. Golf is safe. We all know that. There is no doubt that golf is among the safest outdoor recreational activities at a time when it is needed most for our physical, social, and mental health. What I also know, though, is this, that after a record demand for golf in 2020, we are extremely well positioned for a brilliant 2021. We're tackling this setback head on with a greater certainty of what we can expect when golf opens back up. Last year, we didn't know when we'd be back on the course or what golf would be when we did. Today, we know the operational health and safety model executed by our golf facilities is solid. The industry is working together in an energy around golf that is so encouraging right across the province. Our leadership group will continue to lean on government officials to support the safe reopening of our sport ASAP. We certainly are disappointed that golf didn't make it through the latest round of government restrictions, but we know that our voice is being heard, and we are confident golf will be amongst the first recreational options to lead us out of this shutdown. We will get through this in a big way. If 2020 has taught us anything, golf is extremely well positioned right now. The demand for golf, increase in rounds played and scores posted, and the general spike in interest we saw from last year is only getting stronger. Yes, we are on a pause. I know you don't like it, nor do I. But remember this, golf and opportunity is still calling. And remind us all that it's very much still a special moment for our sport. The spirit and the energy of this campaign is so bang on for where golf is today. The demand for tee times, the investment the folks are making in their golf experience, from clubs and rounds of golf to lessons and memberships. We will all get through this because golf pulls us together, and golf will still be calling when these measures are lifted. I'm excited how golfers and new enthusiasts will answer that call in a very big way. To the Ontario government, I am also asking you to heed the clear evidence. Golf is safe. All of us in golf proved that in 2020 and again in early 2021. It is not just about golf, but soccer fields and tennis courts as well. The science is clear. Outdoor transmission is very rare, and Ontarians need recreational options like these for their physical and mental well-being. We, the entire golf industry of courses, workers, and golfers, we're ready. And I respectfully urge you to continue to allow golf to play a leadership role to ensuring the mental and physical well-being of Ontarians. To our golfers and members, recreational or competitive, young or old, who are anxiously awaiting their next round of golf, we will be playing sooner rather than later, and that is our mission. In the meantime, thank you for joining us today. And while the tone has changed, the messaging has not. Golf is extremely well positioned for long-term growth and opportunity, and we want to share with you some of the ways we are going to help us all get there. I hope you do enjoy this morning's content. We're all in this together, and I know golf will continue to shine. Thank you. Stay strong and stay safe.
Well said. Mike, thank you very much for that. Friday's announcement certainly is a bump in the road. I think we all can agree on that. But I know that this team and the facilities are going to be working that much harder to deliver brilliance. So here's to hoping for better days and for better announcements in the coming future. And hopefully we can see those courses reopen soon enough. At this point, I would like to introduce my co-host for this morning, Abigail Dove. Now, Abigail is an accomplished junior golfer and has been a reporter at the World Juniors Girls Championships, also while reporting for Sports Illustrated Kids. And she is going to be delivering the land acknowledgements for this morning. So, Abigail, I welcome you, and I'll let you take it away.
Thank you so much for that introduction, and thank you to the Golf Ontario for having me today and allowing me to co-host. Besides golf course is closing down, it's been an exciting couple weeks as a junior to see the recent launch of the Junior Golf Pathway. It has been a great tool for me, and I am super excited to be able to use it this summer and in the coming couple of months. Now, prior to the start of the meeting, I would like to conduct a land acknowledgement, recognizing that Golf Ontario covers the whole of the province. Golf Ontario acknowledges and respects the Indigenous people of Ontario that for hundreds of generations have been the keepers of the territories where we all live and work.
Thank you, Abigail. At this point, I would like to welcome Howard Atkinson, and Howard is the current Golf Ontario president and has been a huge, important contributor to the recent successes of Golf Ontario. So I'll pass it over to Howard with his remarks.
Thanks, Kayla. Each year, Golf Ontario's annual meeting is an occasion of celebration and reflection. This year, on the heels of Friday's announcement, we will reflect on the great year that it was and pause to recognize the COVID-19 challenges we face. But it is important that as much as we have hit a momentary bump in the road, we continue to celebrate the future of golf, highlight new ideas, welcome new board members, and embrace new challenges. Golf has been a bright light and an important platform for mental and physical health. And I know that we will again weather this storm together and come out stronger on the other side. I felt so fortunate to be elected president at Glen Abbey at our 2019 annual meeting. During that event, I stood with our members, past presidents, board directors, staff, and many of our volunteers who through their dedication have made this organization so successful. And I have been extremely proud to be part of this team. In the tradition of Golf Ontario's outgoing presidents, I want to reflect on some high-level accomplishments we advanced during our 2-year term. Specifically, I want to share with you my 3 strategic priorities we moved the needle on together over the last couple of years: Golf Canada, membership, and philanthropy. First and foremost, I'm delighted with the progress we've made with our close friends at Golf Canada. I feel this important partnership is stronger than ever, and we will continue to build an even stronger relationship in 2021 and beyond. Our collaboration on events such as the World Junior Girls Championship, new programs like the First Tee, and our collective efforts to grow membership is truly impactful when we work together. Thanks to Golf Canada's board and staff for your leadership. Speaking of leadership, almost 3 years of implementing our new membership model, it's remarkable to see 100% of our member facilities transition so quickly. This modernized, value-based program welcomed new partners to our portfolio, such as Avis and Hilton, and added new app features, ultimately bolstering membership satisfaction and growth. We welcomed a record high 470 facilities to membership and virtually doubled our public player category with nearly 10,000 members. Not so visible to the Ontario golf market, but incredibly inspiring, is the growing legion of individual and corporate funders providing financial gifts to support the growth of the game. In particular, the creation of our Ontario Donor Trustee Program, allowing donors to contribute to key initiatives, is very special. We also experienced tremendous growth with our signature fundraising event, Junior Golf Drive, breaking the $100,000 net mark for the first time in 2019. I am equally thrilled to see the launch of the First Tee program in Ontario and Canada in 2021. The First Tee has incredible reach thanks to a new model of funding through individual and corporate gifts. This philanthropic strategy will be the most comprehensive exercise of its kind in Ontario and Canadian golf history, and the results will allow us to reach new communities to grow the sport for many years to come. Thanks to the Golf Canada Foundation for their partnership and stewardship. Not only am I very proud of the accomplishments mentioned above, but I'm also incredibly bullish on our future priorities. Our innovative regional support strategy, our participation plans with women and girls, and our work to make the sport of golf more diverse, equitable, and inclusive. I'm really excited that these imperatives are just ahead of us, and I'm humbled by the efforts of so many before me, including John Gallagher, whose time with Golf Ontario was highly successful and impactful. Let me close by wishing our incoming president, Susan Vail, and vice president, Leslie Ferrari, the very best. With their election, we have placed into our senior leadership 2 highly successful women in business and sport. With the changing face of our membership in golf, Sue and Leslie will be bringing a crucial perspective to our conversations, and we are so grateful that they have agreed to serve. Also, this is National Volunteers Week, so a special thank you to our incredible team of 200+ volunteers for all that you do for the game of golf. Thank you once again for your support over the past couple years and for being such an important part of this journey going forward. For all of our wins and key initiatives, I want to thank the brilliant Golf Ontario staff, volunteers, and my fellow board members for their dedication and commitment to delivering a remarkable 2020 under the most challenging circumstances. I know we will continue to be brilliant in facing the challenges together in 2021. Thanks again, and I'm looking forward to an incredibly strong 2021.
Thank you, Howard, for all that you have done. You have been an incredible resource for the Golf Ontario. I would now like to welcome back Mike Cali, him and I go way back to when I was a junior and I was competing in Golf Jam. I was a super little junior there. And with the current short-term challenges aside, Mike, like all of us, is extremely passionate about golf. He's excited about the state of the industry and would like to share his thoughts. I am now going to pass it over to Mike for his inroads to opportunity address.
Thank you, Abigail, for that wonderful introduction. And welcome everyone to our 2021 virtual annual meeting. You know, when I was a kid, road trips were a big deal. Starting the moment the van was packed and we said, here we go. I can remember sitting with my two sisters on the back bench of an Astro van, triptych in hand, windows down, and breeze in our faces. Through small towns and big cities, province and states, once we hit the open road, there was nothing but anticipation on what we might do, see, and the people we would meet. These days, we all long for that feeling. After a year of isolation and so much uncertainty, optimism can be tough. We all want to be going somewhere, anywhere. COVID-19 presented us with a very uncertain and challenging road ahead. At the same time, it has also presented us with opportunities. With limited safe recreational options, golf has shown that it is naturally aligned to physical distancing and has emerged as a safe and healthy outdoor activity for both mental and physical well-being. Just like an exciting road trip with friends and family, being in motion is energizing, and our momentum, especially in golf, has never felt more supercharged. I had this discussion a few days ago with one of our industry partners. Seems like nearly every conversation we had started with color-coded framework, reopening, and vaccinations. It has become the new how's the weather conversation. But with spring here, people and the golf business once again are thankfully on the move. The key question, as always, is whether the golf industry will be able to convert the 2020 new and returning golfers into committed customers. And I believe that this will depend on the inroads we make and the experience they have at the golf course, which must be managed properly and in a way that enhances satisfaction, fosters loyalty, improves retention, and welcomes underrepresented populations. With all this in mind, we are currently 2 years into our current strategic plan, our roadmap, and I'm extremely proud of the progress we have made as a team. We have made significant advancements on many of our strategic pillars, while we have had to pause others due to COVID realities. In the past year, given these COVID challenges and opportunities, we felt it was important that we reassess our strategic plan as we look to 2022 and beyond. While we remain committed to our 4 pillars, a lot has changed in 2 years, and our plan needs to reflect these changes so that we can lay the groundwork for continued positive change for the road ahead. Here are some thoughts on our outlook for this year ahead, including key changes, important inroads, and our plans at Golf Ontario to get after it. Participation. We are putting more focus on this strategic pillar. The heart of this important work and our strategic plan remains the facility. With our regional support strategy pilot project, we now have a pathway to better understand facility needs, address our common interests, and build collaborative partnerships. Because of the unique opportunities the pandemic has precipitated, we are well placed to assist facilities in the delivery of positive golf experiences and convert 2020 new golfers into lifetime players, both recreationally and competitively. Our regional support strategy will be fully operationalized in 3 regions, the GTA, Simcoe, Dufferin, and Niagara and Hamilton brand. We will focus on growing the game for youth as well as women and girls. Programs such as Youth on Course, the First Tee, and a new LPGA partnership will be important enablers for our future success. Over the next 2 years, we must invest the necessary time, energy, and resources to pilot, test, and evaluate these initiatives in anticipation of expanding our Grow the Game focus in the next planning period. Junior performance. We will tweak our strategy with this strategic pillar to better reflect the collective great work done to date on the newly launched Junior Golf Competitive Pathway. We will continue to engage many in the golf industry as we begin the rollout of the pathway and website. For more details, I encourage you to please click juniorgolfpathway.ca to learn more. Leadership. We will continue to be laser focused to invest the appropriate time and energy into servicing and growing our memberships in two areas, golfer and facility. Public player acquisition remains an important priority for us. We continue to make great strides against building our public player database, as well as facility acquisition in our service regions continues to be an important goal, working towards our objective of having all facilities part of our growing Golf Ontario and Golf Canada family. And finally, organizational sustainability. We will invest time and energy to develop a robust strategy to support our equity, diversity, and inclusion policy that will guide our actions moving forward. I'm so excited that we have partnered with Korn Ferry and Golf Canada to help guide our efforts. The results of this will be a strategic action plan, and we will dovetail nicely with programs like the First Tee and the great work being done by Golf Canada and, of course, the PGA of Canada. Ultimately, we need to sustainably and measurably grow golf participation in Ontario and memberships in Golf Ontario. Finally, a big thanks to the greatest team in golf, Golf Ontario's board, staff, volunteers, stakeholders, and media, who all made 2020 so impactful. To our We Are Golf partners who helped ensure golf was one of the early activities to be opened. Thank you for your partnership and cooperation. You all truly played a meaningful role in shaping lives through golf. Just like a road trip, it's not the destination that matters, but the journey. We cannot sit down. We have to stay in motion. And above all, let's appreciate the distance we have traveled and remember that we remain on this road together. Take care and enjoy our annual meeting.
Mike, thank you for those great remarks. And as Mike just noted, diversity, equity, as well as inclusion are going to be some really important focuses moving forward this year with Golf Ontario. So part of that, the next segment will be an important conversation with one of the PGA's most biggest proponents when it comes to DEI. And I am pleased to introduce Harold Varner III. Now, Harold has an incredible success story. I'm going to just point out a few of some of his milestones. He turned pro back in 2012, quickly qualifying for the 2013 US Open. And then in 2016, Harold got his first professional victory, winning the Australian PGA Championship, becoming only the second American to win this championship. Now, he currently sits 89th on the PGA Tour FedEx Cup standings. And not to mention, he had a pretty great round and finish at the RBC Heritage Open this past weekend. We are so thrilled to have Harold here joining us with Mike this morning for a fireside chat to talk about his golf career, as well as a topic that he is very passionate about, and that is diversity, equity, and inclusion. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Harold as well as Mike.
Well, thank you very much, Kayla, and I am thrilled to be joined this morning by Harold Varner III, a member of the PGA Tour. And Harold, thanks for joining us this morning. I know you got a busy day, and I'm sure working on your game later. But thanks again for joining our 2021 annual meeting.
No, thanks for having me.
So Harold, you and I have talked before, and it's funny how this conversation came about. I asked a friend of yours and a friend of Golf in Ontario, Mackenzie Hughes, to see if he might go up to you on the range at I think it was the Genesis, to see if you wouldn't mind having a discussion with me about diversity and inclusion in golf. And I'm so very thankful that you agreed to to connect with me and connect with the golf business here in Ontario and our members. And I've been on a journey the last 8 months to try to have a better understanding and how we can be leaders, how Golf Ontario can play its part in making positive change. So this is an exciting conversation for me. And I thought I'd start by just talking about your journey and sharing your journey with us. And I believe that will have an inspiring impact on all of us as we all try to play our part here. So talk to me about, I think you're born in Akron, but you grew up in Gastonia, North Carolina. So tell me a little bit about Gastonia, your experience and getting into the game of golf and how you started on your journey.
Yeah, so I grew up in Gastonia, and our local muni had basically had this deal for kids younger than the age of 18. I think you had to be like 12 to 18 or something like that, or maybe a little younger. But for $100 from June 1st until September 1st, basically you could play Monday through Friday. It was the greatest thing ever. It didn't really talk about race or anything like that, so there wasn't no inclusion and all that. In Gastonia, it was about just being a good person, and I met some wonderful people at this local muni that basically obviously changed my life. They gave me a lot of opportunity. I still remember they got me my first golf bag, just loving on a kid. So my experience has been unbelievable. I just never thought in my lifetime I'd be talking about being included. I've been included in everything in my life. I've been important, and I've had all types of relationships with Black and white people. So I love getting on these topics because they're important to me. I don't think we were supposed to wake up in 2020 and be like, we need to include Black people. We need to talk to Black people. I think that's so wrong. Like, I think if anything, we all need to sit there and talk about what we're going to do to make people better, make better decisions. And Gastonia gave me that opportunity. I had two unbelievable parents. Obviously, I didn't love them all the time, but they loved me in a way that that showed discipline. Things that we are not allowed to do now. You're not allowed to. There's many times I've been hit with a belt. At the time, it was terrible, but it showed that they loved me, and it kept me making right decisions. I'm still terrified of the belt to this day. So in Gastonia, it's just it's a great place to have your kids. I live in Charlotte, so I'm still not too far away from there. My parents still live in Gastonia. A lot of the older people that help me out in golf, they're around, but obviously they're a lot older. The guy who taught me how to play golf, I still take lessons from every now and then. Definitely have lunch at least once a month. So I had a great support group, and I think every kid needs that. I don't care what color you are. I think the most successful people in the world have had mentors, and the worst people in this world have had mentors that have gotten them from point A to point B in a way that I think is the only way, and that's to make daily decisions that get you closer to what you want to do in life. And I guess I couldn't think of a better place. It kind of helped that I was not in the big city, so I never got overlooked. Kids did not get overlooked in Gastonia, and I'm so proud of it. I try to give back as much as I can. It's just a wonderful place when it comes to my, overall opinion of the world and what I think needs to happen to make this place a better place.
Yeah, and you know what? I think in all the conversations I've had, they talk about the community, right? They talked about the environment, and that is so important. I mean, I believe it. There's no doubt it takes a village, and you recently have become an ambassador for Youth on Course, and Youth on Course is a program we rolled out in Ontario last year, and we're looking to grow that program and provide more access to youth. So maybe tell me just a little bit about why you got involved with Youth on Course, and how it can help lower some of the barriers to get more kids involved in the game.
Well, it cancels out the greatest barrier. It doesn't quite cancel it out, but it's just golf so expensive. If it wasn't for that thing, the $100 for the whole summer, I wouldn't have been able to get addicted to golf, or I would have been addicted and not been able to play as much. And I've been a big, ambassador of how can we get kids to play? I get what the First Tee's doing. I get what all these other things are doing, but the coolest thing about golf is your parents aren't around. You get dropped off. You learn how to say yes sir, no sir. You learn how to not rub people the wrong way. Your communication skills become so much better. You don't need anyone to tell you any key words to learn how to talk. If you want something and you're dropped off at the golf course, you're going to go hungry, or you're going to need something if you don't open your mouth. And the Youth on Course just provides that opportunity to just drop kids off. Hey, let them figure it out. You're not going to be there with your kids every time when they have to make a decision. And I was really all about that. So they brought it to North Carolina and South Carolina, and we were asked to pledge X amount so that we, they could get it off and going. And dude, I've been so into it ever since then. And, I just think it's pretty cool that what they're doing that's so similar to my journey. That's what really matters. Like, I want to be behind things that I think changed my life, and getting dropped off at the golf course changed my life. It gave me a foul mouth, respect my elders, things that, I don't think I would have figured out if I wouldn't have been at the golf course. And they're just obviously doing a great job of marketing it, doing it the right way so that they can capitalize on getting kids in the golf.
Now that's great. And that's a perfect segue into probably the most important question I have for you this morning. It's the same question I've asked the number of people that I've spoken to, and it's encouraging and again, inspiring to see so many of our members, people in the golf industry that want to get involved and want to make a difference. Sometimes the challenge can be, what do I do? How can I help? What would you tell them, Harold, about how they can play a role in making golf more inclusive, more equitable, and more diverse?
It's the easiest thing. If you want to sustain a business for more than 10 years, you would provide access for kids and women, because as a father, you're supposed to provide, you're supposed to protect. And if your wife comes up to you and says, "Hey, I'd love to take X, Y, and Z to the golf course," you're gonna do it. You're gonna find a way to make it happen. So when I was growing up, we had this grill. Like, it's so stupid. We had a grill at our golf course, and it made it where mom could wait around for the kids, because mom's just going to be mom. Like, they're going to have a hard time leaving their kid, just at a random golf course. That's the biggest thing for me. I just think that golf has got to be a place to hang out. Like, if you can put a simulator at a golf course, people are going to go do that. I mean, obviously, I'm sure they're way bigger in Canada simulators than, where I live, because you can play golf fairly year round, if as long as you're just not scared of it. So I think that just getting moms and kids, because like dad just isn't going to have time. That's the biggest thing. My mom used to pick me up. She would stop, and like sometimes we'd get dinner at the golf course. Like, you just make something up and then just take it home. Like, at that golf course, you cannot. The grill's not even open anymore. At that very exact same golf course, it's why country clubs. Country clubs have withstood everything, Great Depression, all this stuff, because people can hang out at it. When there's no golf, they can hang out. It's not rocket science. I just find it funny that people are so smart, so genius, but they just don't do what they like. It's right. It's not like you wake up and you didn't know that we're going to get on this Zoom call, did you? No, just keep doing what you're doing. It's not like you woke up and you were like, "Oh, I'm going to be I thought I was racist the last 40 years of my life." No, man, you've been doing good. You're as long as you're striving, no one's going to have the answer. Just because I'm Black, I'm not going to have the answer. I just can tell you what my journey is and what I think. Everyone's going to have an opinion. But it's not like we woke up and we were doing the wrong thing for the last 50 years. Golf's not in a bad place. COVID helped tremendously. It's sad, but it's true. But long as you're not looking at kids as like a dollar sign. Like, well, if we get 50 kids, we can make $1,300. That's when kids don't come back. Like, we go back and play this muni course because they helped us out. Like, you just got to look at it in the big picture. And one thing I've noticed, and I didn't notice when I was a kid, but older people go to places where kids are found. It keeps them young, keeps them alive. They want to be a part of like something. Whether you really act like you don't want to be a part of a kid's life, just being present to when you see a kid do right or wrong, whether that's encouraging them or telling them what's right, is so vital in your life. So that's the biggest thing for me. Just have a place to hang out. And golf courses, you don't hang out. You just basically go hit balls, play golf, and go home. Like, what, like, you don't only at a country club do you hang out. I used to hang out at a golf course 24/7. Like, if I wasn't playing, I was chipping. I was doing whatever it was. No one hangs out anymore. It's weird.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, you just said something I picked up on there that is really what we're trying to do here. Is that it's just about getting better. Absolutely doing the right thing, but trying to get better. And one of the other conversations I had with the leader of the diversity task force in the U.S. said it's a journey of 1,000 miles. This will take time, but being committed to something and knowing that you're playing a role, I think, is critical. And certainly, I wanted to also give you the opportunity to talk about your foundation. Maybe that we can end the conversation, just because I think that, if you go to your website, the Hv3 Foundation, what your mission speaks to a lot of what you've been saying, but I think it's something that, I'm sure our members would love to hear more about your foundation. And Golf Ontario, by the way, Harold, will make a small donation to your foundation as well, and appreciate you joining us. So just tell everybody about your foundation and what you're up to there.
First of all, thank you so much. Every dollar counts. Obviously, now I know how much it costs to actually run a foundation and do the things that I had set out to do. So I started the foundation because in Gastonia, they wouldn't do, I was going to pay for the program that we had growing up, and Gastonia, they said they wouldn't do it. They said their course wasn't going to be like I said, a hangout place. And that's how we started. So me and my best friend basically started this foundation, and we're like, we're just going to run events. We're going to give access to youth in all sports. Like, it's expensive to play any sport now, just the way it is, whether it's travel ball, equipment, whatever it is. So we would run events. So we have a high school event, and then a good friend of mine passed away that played at Wake Forest. He got the Arnold Palmer Scholarship. A guy named Daniel Meggs. We run a junior tournament for him, and then we have like a little get together that we just basically raise, just go around asking the local community, like, hey, this is what we want to do. Like, we sponsored a baseball team. We've done some really cool, and then we do 15% of the youth on course in North and South Carolina, with the goal of being 100%, being the number one sponsor for that. I really believe in that program. So that's what we're raising money for now, just to, I just want to be a part of that. Like, that's in a selfish way. I want to tie our foundation to that. But now we got some wonderful people that have been helping out. We want to start a mentorship. Like I was telling you earlier, I would like to know that every kid had a chance to meet someone that, like, just either wanted to be a part of their lives or told them something that they could carry on for the rest of their lives. Like, so we're trying to start a mentorship through the first tee, to where, like, kids will have someone in their life to talk to besides their parents. Every successful person or non-successful has had someone in their life where they second guess, like, hey, should I do that? Or had someone to bounce it off. And I just think every kid should have that opportunity. Whether it's, mine were very, I guess, authentic. I play golf, and I end up playing with this guy about 40 times. The next thing you know, he's telling me, like, not so much where I should go to school, but what I should be doing to get in school. And he doesn't even know he's mentoring me, and so I've been very fortunate to have that. And now we're just raising money so that I think that any person that is successful in the community, no matter what race they are, should have the opportunity to be a mentor. So raising money is not as easy as I thought it was, but it's well worth it when you wake up in the morning and you know that, like, what you want to do, you're getting closer to it.
Well, that's awesome, Harold, and good luck with all your work with the foundation. Thank you again for joining us. I really appreciate it. And I know you're a busy guy, and good luck the rest of the season, and look forward to connecting with you very soon.
Mike, we'll talk soon. Everyone have a good one. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Big thank you to Mike and HV3 for that great conversation on some really important topics. I really loved how they honed in on mentorship and investing in our youth. And I think that those are really some key things that we can really focus on heading into the 2021 season. So at this point, we are going to transition to our breakout sessions. So we are going to take a quick break right now, allow you to stretch, maybe grab that coffee, whatever you so choose. And we are going to return at 9:55 sharp. Now, there is a link in the live meeting for each session, and they are to the right of your screen in the info section. Now, those are Zoom links, and they will be used to conduct these breakout sessions. So please take a quick break and ensure that you have the link so that you're ready to go by 9:55. And we have 3 great sessions in store for you. So the first one is a discussion on the USGA resource management tool. And it's a great tool to help your course save on maintenance fees. So you can check that out. The next one we have is a great session highlighting the recent launch of the Junior Golf Pathway, which is an amazing tool for competitive junior golfers in Ontario. That was something that Abigail had mentioned earlier this morning. And last but not least, we have Drive On, and it's a discussion on the power and potential of the women's market. So enjoy your break, get up, stretch, grab a coffee or a snack, and we will see you back at 9:55.